Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today as we explore what we feel is the best Brazilian steakhouse in Vegas. It's located on the Strip in the Fashion Show Mall, directly across from the Wynn. Welcome to Let's Eat Vegas, a guide to Las Vegas restaurants, buffets, and other eating establishments, showing you the good, the bad, and the delicious. We've been to many Brazilian steakhouses in our day, and while we're huge fans of beef, we've not found that the Brazilian approach always to be a satisfying experience. But today, we found one that well exceeded our expectations. Here at Galpao Gaucho, we found a place where we loved everything we had, and the service was top-notch. We've never been fawned over by servers as we were today. From start to finish, it was just a fantastic meal. At Galpao Gaucho, it's an all-you-can-eat affair with buffet style for the salads and appetizers, meaning you can help yourself to as much as you like. The 17 cuts of meat are brought to your table throughout the meal. And while most places have an additional charge for seafood, here the salmon and shrimp are included. The lunch price is $52 and dinner is $72. As far as we could tell, there's no difference in the foods offered, so lunch is just a great deal. It's Monday through Friday only and runs from 11:30 to 2:30. Brazilian meat grilling, aka churrasco, is a meat lover's paradise and a vegan's hell. There's a primal aspect to the ritual of having the servers bring the meat around to your table. It's called rodizio dining, where they rotate freshly cooked meats of various types past your table and carve them directly onto your plate. They provide you with a card that's green on one side and red on the other. Turn your card to green, and the men with skewers swarm your table to carve meats or pineapple for you, as well as bring other sides such as mashed potatoes, cheese and honey, delicious cheese rolls, and much more. Make sure to turn it to red if you want the swarm to leave you alone so you can enjoy your meal, or if you're done for the day. When I was just 18, my Brazilian friend Armando, who was a master chef in his own right, introduced me to the fabulous world of Brazilian food and its amazing, rich cultural ties. Armando had such a profound influence on me and my love of cooking. He taught me a lot about Brazilian meat preparation. Brazilian barbecue was first brought to Miami, Florida in the 1950s. Churrasco translates to barbecue and gaucho to cowboy. This type of carnivore paradise was started by the gauchos using their blades or swords to barbecue various cuts of meat over an open fire. The meats came from the cattle they herded across the plains of South America. You'll find the finest top quality meats anywhere in the world in South America. But for we city dwellers in the United States who seek fresh, hand-carved meats of the very highest quality and who want to recreate the experience of the gauchos without having to live on the open plains and spend the day on horseback, then you're in luck. Prime quality meats and New Zealand lamb are all that's used here, and it can be found at Galpao Gaucho at the Fashion Show Mall right on the Vegas Strip. Okay, let's get started with the salad bar and the appetizer stations. Normally, when I go to a Brazilian barbecue, the salads are subpar at best, and I usually skip over them. However, this is the best salad and starter section you'll encounter at any restaurant of this category. I know you probably want to get your beef-eating money's worth when you're at a brilliant steakhouse like this, but please trust me and don't skip the starters here. They're 5-star quality. The Caesar is just fantastic. It's not exactly a tableside Caesar, but nevertheless, it's a perfectly balanced mix of all the bold flavors found in a classic Caesar. I know we're here for the meat, but when something tastes this good, it deserves honorable mention. The strawberry salad is not striking on the surface. Strawberries nestled in a field of greens with bits of crumbled goat cheese. But it's a wonderful canvas where the goat cheese becomes not merely an accessory, but a flavor amplifier, intensifying the notes of the other dressings. The dressings are all amazing, and whoever made them has a rare culinary gift and exquisite taste buds. I know in the camera it's hard to see, but I have 3 dressings here on the plate. I love the passion fruit and balsamic dressings as well. They are well worth trying. They remind me of my own homemade salad dressings I was famous for in my restaurant. And then there was the basil dressing. Not merely a pesto or a creamy dressing, but a brilliant combination of the two. I really enjoyed it. The prosciutto ham and cheese was wonderful. Being half Italian, the love of Parmesan is in my blood. I seek out great cheeses, and this hit the spot perfectly. The shrimp salad, good, not my favorite thing, a little underseasoned for my taste, but still respectable. Same with the beet salad. While a nice flavor with the orange slices, I prefer beet salad prepared with a little bit more oven roasted flavor. Salmon and capers, also a winner. This is great quality smoked salmon. I was a huge fan of it. I've always thought it strange that the only thing healthy to smoke is salmon. In fact, it cures it. Cremini mushrooms are very nice, but also not my favorite thing here. Deviled eggs are good, but watch out, they're filling. Tomato capri salad, very good as well. But I'm not going to fill up here. I do need to move on. I don't want to take up too much room with the salads. The candied bacon's fantastic. It'll take your breath away. It really is as good as any bacon I've ever tasted. When brown sugar infusion meets the salty savoriness of bacon, it's a marriage made in heaven. Don't skim over this delightful treat. The soup is very good. Reminds me of that Brazilian flavor my chef buddy Armando incorporated into many Brazilian dishes. I was always amazed to find out that ketchup and mustard are a few of the things that give Brazilian food its unique flavor. Though when used correctly, they should be almost undetectable. Here, the ketchup and mustard were perfectly balanced, and it was delicious. Back at the table, we've been brought a tray of cheese bread. Beautiful, light and airy, puffs of cheese without gluten to weigh you down. It's so light they practically defy gravity. Armando showed me how to make these with nothing more than eggs, milk, oil, tapioca flour, and cheese. They're so delicate they melt in your mouth, and so puffy they're like a huge pillowy pocket of air. Absolutely terrific. Fried white cheddar cheese. Wow, how can I begin to describe this? The love child of butter and cheese. Heavenly, waffle-like melted cheese with honey as the syrup. They're addicting, but let's not fill up. There's so many other things here to eat, and you'll want to save room. In addition to the grilled meats, the gauchos also bring by grilled pineapple. Apparently, the digestive enzymes in the pineapple act as a palate cleanser and help to cut through the richness of the fatty meats. It's so sweet and tart with tons of cinnamon. We absolutely loved it. The same is true of the banana they serve. As Aurelio, the manager, told us, it's a palate cleanser, much like ginger at a sushi bar. I highly recommend ordering a glass or bottle from their impressive wine list. They proudly display their wines in a beautiful showcase as you first enter the dining area. I used to do all the tasting and ordering of wines at our restaurant, but it's been a while now and I've lost track of the wine scene. I asked Aurelio to choose a Pinot Noir for me, and he selected the 95 Point Walt 2020. It was beautiful, just the right depth and intensity for Pinot Noir, and I love reds with a black cherry aroma, and this was spot on, and the perfect accompaniment to the beef and lamb. There's something for everyone on their wine list. And if you get intimidated by ordering wine, just ask the staff to help you. They know their wines, so you can't go wrong. Okay, finally, the moment of truth. Here come the meats. The picanha is the most popular cut of meat at a Brazilian barbecue. It comes from the rump area of the cow and has a huge fat cap that makes it wonderfully flavorful. It almost tastes like it's infused with butter, but the only thing they use for seasoning on the meat here is rock salt and fire. This cut is next to impossible to find at your local butcher. It's really only ever seen in Brazilian steakhouses. What makes it so good is not the seasoning, but the quality of the meat. Wow, look how juicy this picante is. The charred flavor is exceptional, and the fat is just to die for. The bottom sirloin is great. Anywhere else, it would be my favorite. But here, they have so many amazing selections of meat. It's hard to have a single favorite. They really spoil you for any other Brazilian barbecue, with all the great cuts they offer. Again, look at the juiciness of this beef. I asked for it rare, and they're great about getting you the temperature you desire. The garlic sirloin is also wonderful, so full of that umami flavor which comes from the roasted garlic and the marinade. It's a garlic and meat lover's dream come true. Look how tender this is. This was another one of my favorites, especially given my Italian heritage and love of all things garlic. It's also one of the exceptions to the only seasoned with salt approach we previously explained. One other exception to that is the spicy sirloin. It's also a favorite. It's so packed with spicy marinade flavor, it takes your breath away. Not for the faint of heart. The flavor is unparalleled to any seasoning I've ever had. Reminds me of spicy paprika, lemon pepper, and garlic. A very unique flavor combination, and hauntingly good. Make sure to try to get a piece of the fat, where these flavors are further intensified. It's phenomenal. This filet mignon is to die for. This is like the most tender, flavorful filet you'll ever taste. I usually stay away from this cut when I order a steak in most restaurants, because I find it can be a little mundane and boring in the flavor department due to its low fat content. But here, again, it's buttery and seems to contain a lot more fat than the average filet, and therefore, I guess, more flavor. It's hard to believe there's nothing more than salt on this. The ribeye is always, anywhere, one of my favorite cuts of beef. Rich, salty, savory, indescribably delicious. If you've watched our other videos, you'll know we're addicted to prime rib and always seeking the best deals on it here in Vegas. I'm on a never-ending quest for the restaurant serving up this phenomenal cut of meat. You can see as the Gaucho cuts into the beef how much fat it contains. The ribeye here is a flavor bomb and highly satisfying for we prime rib lovers. Fat, in my opinion, is the secret to flavor in any cut of beef. There's nothing better than meat that's prime grade. All other meats pale in comparison. Given this restaurant is all about beef, I wasn't expecting the chicken to be a standout dish. But it was terrific here. Despite that though, I'm here for the beef, and so I just had a quick taste of the chicken for reviewing purposes. It was moist, juicy, and delicious. Crispy skin as well. It was very good. The shrimp here is also wonderful. Smoky, charred, and above all else, fresh. I love shrimp, and these have it going on in the flavor department. They have a very rich buttery flavor and go well with either the chimichurri or the spicy red sauce they provide at each table. The salmon is wonderful here. Again, very fresh. It's as if they just caught it and you're getting it within minutes after being cooked. One bite and it comes to life in your mouth. I absolutely love the sauce. As you know, as a chef, I always say it's all about the sauce. And the sauce used on this salmon is a fabulous buttery passion fruit with a delicate creamy texture. If you're with someone who's not a meat eater, they're going to have more than enough choices here to satisfy them, what with the salmon, the shrimp, the great salad bar, and a number of other appetizer dishes. This could even perhaps become their favorite restaurant too. Okay, where do I begin with the beef rib? First of all, this is the most beautiful display I've ever seen of the whole short rib. The meat to fat ratio is perfect, and being that it's prime grade, you know the flavor will be outstanding. You can see the marbling in it before we even cut into it. Oh my God, look how juicy it is as it's cut open. I love the crust on the rib cap the most. The great thing about Brazilian barbecue is, I believe, that after they serve the beef to you, it goes right back on the fire so that it can be roasted again and get that beautiful crispy crust on the outside. This was for sure my favorite cut of the beef today. It's very filling as it contains such a high fat content. This is the closest I've tasted to that wonderful restaurant from my childhood, Valley Forge in SoCal, where everything was roasted over an open fire. If you like really deep, rich barbecue flavored brisket, this will be your favorite dish here as well. It's the best meat I've tasted, only comparable to the brisket at the Bacchanal buffet at Caesars, on a good day. It's a theme of mine to save the best for last. And so, even with the fantastic beef we've discussed so far, I have to say in all honesty, my favorite dish of the day was the lamb. It's by far the best tasting lamb I've ever put in my mouth. I've had a lot of great lamb in my day and grew up eating it because my parents were just huge lamb fanatics. First of all, the lamb they use here is the best you can possibly find. It's from New Zealand. But what makes it even better is the way they season it. It's marinated overnight in white wine, mint, and lemon pepper. I never knew that anything could taste this good. Look at this whole leg of lamb. It's so beautiful. It would take first place in a beauty contest. And so delicious, it would also take first place in a cooking competition. Notice it has a yellowish hue to it. That's the result of the remarkable secret seasoning they use for their marinade. Do yourself a favor and don't miss out on getting this when it comes by your table. And if you don't see it, please do yourself a favor and request it. Wow, it's one of the best things you'll ever taste. I love it rare, so it's tender and moist. Though not a Brazilian custom, the mint jelly is superb paired with it. This jelly offsets the slightly gamey flavor of the lamb, and the contrast of tart from the lemon pepper and sweet of the mint jelly are just mind-blowing. It's a toss-up, I'm not sure if the leg of lamb or the chops win my vote for my favorite. I'd have to say it's a close tie. I do love the primal feeling of picking up these little chops and eating them. The meat next to the bone, and what little fat they have, are just so decadently good. This lamb is singularly worth the price of admission. Finally, it was time for desserts. We asked them to bring us whatever they recommended, and let's just say the desserts did not disappoint. The molten lava cake is a wonderfully ooey gooey treat, just what my sweet tooth is craving after all that rich meat. Somehow, I always have room for dessert no matter how full I am. The cake is comparable to the best chocolate cake, and the lava is really nice and warm, while at the same time not so rich you can only have one bite. The ice cream and whipped cream are perfect accompaniments. The papaya cream is outstanding and very different than anything I've ever tasted. It's very light and creamy, while at the same time rich and satisfying. It's like ice cream meets mousse, and the cassis on top just brings it to another level. I highly recommend you try this dessert. I know you're going to love it. The papaya used is a Latin American variety that I used to eat every day while I lived in Mexico, and still crave. This papaya cream is so light that you can eat the whole dish and not feel over the top full. It's not overly sweet or creamy, it's just, well, perfect. Galpao Gaucho is a rare find and hidden gem in our fair city. It's the best Brazilian barbecue here in Vegas, maybe anywhere. Certainly the best I've ever had. I'm so glad we checked it out, because I did hesitate after dining at so many other subpar places serving similar fare. While the quality and preparation of the meats here is exemplary and surpass all of the restaurants of this genre, one area that truly separates Galpao Gaucho from the rest is the high quality of their non-meat items. The salads, cheeses, appetizers, soups, and sides are every bit the equal of the delicious meats. Clearly, there is a breadth of culinary expertise and consuming passion that extends far beyond meat preparation. One other important observation is their consistency. As usual, we visited twice, and both times the food was first-rate. That's not frequently what we find in our review process, and the staff at Galpao Gaucho deserves a lot of credit for this. Throw in the fawning and knowledgeable service, and you have a true fine dining experience, well worth the price. If you've not tried Galpao Gaucho, do yourself a favor and check it out. You won't be disappointed, and you'll thank me later. We will for sure be back, and who knows, maybe we'll see you there. Make sure to tell them, Let's Eat Vegas sent you. I know we're all guilty of watching videos on YouTube and not subscribing. As a reminder, it's free to subscribe, and it really helps us bring you more videos. So please like, subscribe, share, comment, and hit the notifications bell. It means a lot to us. Until we eat again, bon appetit.